I did take on the label of Amazing Atheist once again. There's no point in doing that if you don't occasionally talk about atheism, right? So I found a video called Hinduism versus Atheism, Ultimate Meaning versus Material Facts. I don't know a whole hell of a lot about Hinduism. I do know about their brutal caste system, which I guess is probably less in effect today than it once was, but I understand that it's still in effect. I understand that a lot of times in Hinduism, if you see someone suffering, you just assume they deserved it because of something they did in a past life. So I do know some basic criticisms of Hinduism, but I'm by no means any sort of expert in Hinduism. I have a very layman understanding of their religion, and so I'm not going to be able to refute specifically whatever this video says the tenets of Hinduism are. But in a more general sense, I'm sure they're going to make similar arguments to the ones I've seen from Islam and the ones that I've seen from Christianity and Judaism. So let's take a look and see if I'm right.
Personalities like Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris are some of the world's leading and loudest voices on atheism. They have written books, delivered talks, and hold regular podcasts where their views are expressed. Both Dawkins and Harris hold to a materialist worldview based on reason. In other words,
did anyone notice how contemptuous he said the word reason? A materialist worldview based on reason. Dun, dun, dun! Not reason! Please, anything but reason!
Truth is only that which can be objectively proved through evidence.
Yeah. You have a problem with that? You have a problem with truth only being that which can be proven. Okay.
Faith is the very opposite of science. Faith is belief in something without evidence. Right. Science insists all the time on evidence. It's based upon evidence, logical reasoning from evidence. Faith and science are completely incompatible.
Yep.
As a result, the idea of an all-powerful personality who creates and controls this universe is rejected as either false or at least highly unlikely.
As it should be.
According to them, science alone is the means by which we can determine what is worth believing. Christians and Muslims who believe their religion is the only way to truth also base their faith on evidence.
No. No. Faith based on evidence wouldn't even be faith. Faith, by definition, is belief without evidence. So, wrong.
Christians attempt to prove Christ's resurrection as well as the reliability of the Bible. Muslims try to prove the miraculous nature of the Quran. Because Christianity and Islam look to use objective evidence, they are playing on the same platform as atheists.
Yeah, well, they're not playing as well.
Where does Hinduism fit into this debate?
I don't know. I have a feeling you're about to tell me.
Scientific knowledge can be found in many writings of the rishis, and in recent times attempts have been made to validate their statements through quantum theory. But in reality, science is not the basis upon which Hinduism makes its truth claims.
Well, no shit. Obviously not. It's a religion.
Truth instead is founded on one's direct experience of the divine. It is based...
Oh my fucking... direct experience of the divine bullshit. Yeah, because Christianity's not about that. Christianity's not about a personal relationship with Jesus. You know, Islam is not about, you know, Allah has touched me or whatever the fuck. All of these religions are based on that, dude. Hinduism is no sort of weird exception here. This is the fucking rule. I don't have any evidence of this claim, but I just feel it. I just feel it, and whatever I feel must be true. Well, if feelings are good enough for a truth claim, then how do you explain the people who feel Jesus and feel God and feel whatever other, like, you know, I feel Zeus, I feel Odin. I feel fucking, Mithra, whatever the fuck. I feel Allah. He's there. I sense his presence. I sense the divine. I just know there's a spiritual realm because I just feel it. I just feel it. Lots of people feel crazy shit. Thank you for the donation. I just think it's true. I just feel it's true. I mean, what fucking bullshit, bogus, unfalsifiable claim can't say that? They all say that. I just believe. It's like Richard, not what's his fucking name? David Duchovny's character, Agent Mulder. I forget what his first name is, but he's got that poster. I want to believe. Yeah, I want to. I can't actually show evidence, but I want to, although Mulder had evidence, but you know what I'm saying.
Based on realizing firsthand the declarations made by the great masters, they have laid down a testable hypothesis about reality and a method of how to perceive it, which can be verified by our own realization. Despite Sam Harris's atheistic stance, he does see substantial truth in the teachings of some of the Hindu masters.
Dude, what is this? Hindu master mass murder? What the fuck is this guy? Dude, I wouldn't fucking... If I saw this dude... If like an elevator door opened and this is the face I saw, I'd just be like, I'll get the next one. I'm good. Don't worry about me.
There are Gyanis who see God as nirguna, which is the divine devoid of a form, personality, or indeed any qualities at all.
So basically just not even the divine anymore. You're basically just saying, my awe of the universe is God. No, it's your awe of the universe. That's what it is. It doesn't need to be God or anything else.
To know this God is to have the realization of our true self beyond the mind. Harris agrees that through meditation and contemplation, one can move to a state where we see that our ego-centered identity is an illusion.
I'm not arguing that consciousness is a reality beyond science or beyond the brain, or that it floats free of the brain at death. I'm not making any spooky claims about its metaphysics. What I am saying, however, is that the self is an illusion. The sense of being an ego, an I, a thinker of thoughts in addition to the thoughts, an experiencer in addition to the experience.
But it would be fair to say that both Dawkins, Harris, and other atheists would not lend the same respect to Hindus who see God as Saguna.
Yeah, because Harris just very carefully laid out there, I'm not making any sort of supernatural claims about this. I'm just saying that from a neuroscientific perspective, you can use meditation to realize that self, as we think of it, is an illusion. That's what he said, and then what you're saying is, no, it's God! Why don't they respect our position that it's God? Because your position is stupid. Your position posits all kind of shit that can't be demonstrated. His doesn't. You don't see the fucking difference there?
For these Hindus, God is a transcendent person, the creator and sustainer of the universe. He answers prayers, delivers grace. He even incarnates on earth in a variety of forms to
none of which we've ever seen.
Destroy evil and bless devotees.
He's not doing a good job destroying evil, dude. Plenty of evil still around.
None of this makes sense to any atheist. Without evidence, these ideas are perceived as primitive, irrational superstition.
As they should be. Yeah, I want evidence. Explain to me why I shouldn't.
At best, childish beliefs to help people cope with life.
Right.
Having said this, although it would be quite difficult to convince someone like Sam Harris to actually become a devotee, it is possible to make him appreciate that the Bhakti path does have a rational philosophy behind the practices and beliefs.
No, because it gave up a rational philosophy the moment it posited all sorts of supernatural, otherworldly bullshit for which it had no evidence. It gave up rationality at that point. When you say there's a magic all-powerful whatchamacallit that took the form of a fucking elephant man and came down here and rid the world of evil, and he does it every so often. Yeah, at that point, you're not dealing with a rational philosophy. You're dealing with a bunch of religious mumbo fucking jumbo, bitch. So what?
The first thing to understand is that unlike Christianity and Islam, these bhakti traditions are not claiming to save anyone from eternal damnation. Instead, they are a methodology to take us to a higher transcendent.
Yeah, because they don't have hell. You know, you don't, if you're a shitty person, when you die, you don't go to hell. You just get reincarnated as a fucking buttworm or some shit. Isn't appealing to science and scripture antithetical to their points, arguing against science, evidence, and reason? I don't know. Probably.
State. The second point is that the bhakti teachings are not looking to satisfy a materialistic scientific worldview. Science develops facts based on testable evidence in this world. It aims to draw accurate conclusions about the nature of our environment.
Right.
The devotional philosophies, however, are not focusing on delivering material facts. They are instead looking to take the seeking individual to the ultimate meaning of existence.
Okay. Well, if they were able to do that without saying there's an all-powerful deity with a personality who has the following attributes, then no one would fucking object. But since they do state that, when you state that there is a being, an entity that is the fount of creation that has taken fucking various forms and visited Earth and fought against evil like a fucking superhero, that, if that's true, that is a material fact. And it should be, it's a claim that requires fucking evidence. You're not just talking about, oh, they got to find the ultimate meaning of existence. You're talking about there is a deity that has these following attributes, and you have no evidence for that. So you can't just cop out and say, oh, well, we're not making material claims. That's a material claim. To say an elephant man walked around on the earth and slaughtered the wicked is a fucking material claim, goddammit.
The sincere seeker of truth understands that ultimate happiness cannot be found in this material world. Almost all Eastern spiritual philosophies declare that life is suffering. Even when we do experience pleasure, it is sure to end. And even if we have
so is the suffering as soon as you die.
The most successful life possible, we will inevitably have to face death.
Yep.
This idea is not the product of some depressive worldview, but rather an immense maturity that sees the limitation we are faced with.
No. What would be mature is looking at the world, seeing that suffering is everywhere and that the human condition is kind of fucked up, and saying, well, part of maturing is accepting this. But what you're talking about is not accepting it. What you're talking about is we're going to somehow transcend it. Thinking that you can transcend it through supernatural means is the opposite of accepting it as reality. The fucking opposite, good sir.
There comes a point where the toys of this world no longer make any sense. Once this realization acutely hits us, one has a choice: to try and make the best of life as it is,
the sane, rational choice,
or to seek the possibility of attaining something beyond,
the retarded choice.
Broadly speaking, the Hindu devotional masters state that there are two ways to transcend suffering.
All right.
One is to realize, as Sam Harris acknowledges, that our ego self is an illusion. The other way is to reach the highest meaning to our existence, which is described as a state of supreme love.
For God. Maybe instead of focusing on a supreme love for God, you should focus on a supreme love for your fellow human beings. Maybe if we were actually able to love one another, we could bring about a better world. Not in some hereafter, not in some transcendental plane, but in the here and the now. You know, it's a tough road. I don't personally think humanity is capable of it. The name of my show is Abandon Hope. But if we stood any chance of making the world a better place, It's certainly not by loving a fictional being, and I don't think it's by having, it wasn't knowledge of your true self, it was knowledge that the self is a fucking illusion. But I don't think that's the fucking solution either. I think the solution is actually loving and caring for your fellow human beings on this planet and caring about the success and prosperity of more than just yourself. And in fact, communities that embrace those values tend to do better than communities that fucking don't.
This love, or prema, is not some peak emotional experience. It is not based on affection, attachments, and infatuation. It is not just about having well-being, peace of mind, or even any...
I don't think I need to say anymore. The Patreon you see before you is the Pessimist Productions Patreon that includes Deep Fat Fry, The Amazing Atheist, Cinema for Cynics, Ideology, TJ Does Life. We are currently sitting at 3,550 patrons. If you want to know why we have so many, then maybe check it out, see if it's right for you, etc.